and suddenly a man came and put his hand on my shoulders, and he started speaking in English. He says, I need you to go out of these four walls, out of this building. You have to go and preach my word. Preach the gospel. And I will go with you. And everything you ask, I will answer.
Benjamin Galindo was raised with strong Christian values and served God in his own way throughout his life. The only problem was he was ignoring God's calling for his true mission. That all changed on January 6th, 2001, when God stepped in and got his attention. Welcome to A Stronger Faith, a podcast that pulls you into the experiences that changed people's faith. One of the things I love about this podcast is that the stories and conversations shared in our episodes are all generated through the suggestions of our listeners and guests. It's just another thing that makes it all really special. Everyone has the ability to participate in evangelization in some way. If you have an idea for a possible guest, please visit our website at astrongerfaith.com and click the button that says Recommend a Guest. It's really easy, and I think it'll make you smile a little on the inside if you hear an episode that you suggest a few weeks later. Today's conversation, suggested by a listener, on how one man was shaped for God's mission is filled with miracles and healings you'll just need to hear to fully appreciate. Please meet Pastor Benjamin Galindo. Today, Pastor Benjamin Galindo is here. Your son, I hope you know this, came onto our website and said, my father, who is also my pastor, has an amazing story that you won't believe. You need to reach out to him. And so I did. And so we've been talking back and forth via text message and email, and you are so positioned and hungry to use your story to affect people toward Christ. First of all, it made you a pastor. But secondly, you've gotten here pretty quickly, and so I get excited when that happens because I know that that is God just really sweeping through and doing his thing. And so welcome, Pastor Galindo.
Thank you.
I'm glad you are here. You told me about this story on the phone last week, I guess it was, the week before. And I remember running upstairs to my wife. I was like, you're not going to believe this. And I told her about it. And she's like, I can't wait for you to get him in here. It's going to be great. Yes. And so here we are this morning. And
here we are.
You are in the studio and ready to have a conversation about the things that have happened and that have gotten you to where you are now. So you have been preaching for nearly around 20 years now, right?
Yes, I started preaching on April 2001.
April 2001.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of where the story, the second part of the story begins,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
But what we really want to get to is what happened before April of 2001 that got you to that decision to begin preaching the way that you had been preaching and teaching and serving since that time.
Yes, my life, my whole life and my family changed since then.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It's a powerful time, and we're going to get to it. So where did it start? Where'd you grow up, and what was life like when you were growing up?
Well, I'm a pastor's son. We were 13 on the family, 8 women and 5 men.
In your family?
And my family.
There were 13 children?
Yes.
8 girls?
And 5 men.
5 boys. That's a lot of
yeah.
kids. And your dad was a pastor?
Yes, he preached. He was pastor for 40, I believe 45 years. He started preaching back on 1952.
Wow.
Yes. And we face a lot of bullying, a lot bullying for the people, because Christianity on that time, there was something that not very knowing by the people. If somebody become a Christian, they say a lot of things about that, like they are witchers, they are this and they are that, and a lot of bad things about Christianity.
Really?
Yes. So I grew up with that. Too much pressure from the community so I never had a friend, real friends. I always fight with them because they bully me a lot.
Because you were Christians?
Because I was a Christian.
Wow. I was going to ask you what it was like growing up the child of a pastor. I think about what it would be like now in America, but it doesn't sound like that's what it was then.
No. It was way different. Also, like pastor sons, all the Christian members of the church, they got my dad and my mom, especially my mom, give them the authority to discipline us or correct us. So not just the people outside the church, inside the church too. You are the son of the pastor. You have to be this way. And that I believe that put something on my heart that feel like not to be hateful. My temper, my character.
Your character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My character, that was like mean.
It made you mean?
Yeah.
Made you angry?
Yes. So I grew up and we left our town, and I came to United States back in 1982.
Okay.
I came and I studied in Texas. Went to college and studied English, and I learned English, but I went back to Mexico and forgot my English, because you don't hear English, you don't speak English, you don't practice. So I forgot. I came back to United States on 91, and I started speaking English again. And I moved to Georgia back on 1992.
So when you first came to America, it was 1982. 82.
Mm-hmm.
So were you a teenager at that time?
18 years old.
18 years old. So you had grown up in a pretty disciplinarian environment. So did that make you turn away a little bit from Christianity, thinking if this is what Christianity is, that I don't know that I like that? Or did you still have a Christian faith that it was strong?
I still have a Christian faith that was real strong, because the way the daddy and my mom raised us with good values, core values, and they always teach us how to be good Christians. So, but I believe that the environment of the unbelievers, there was a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah.
So that make us to really be the difference. If you say a bad word in front of somebody, they laugh at you. They say, yeah, look, he's a Christian. Look what he was saying.
Right.
So we have to be real Christians. And the good things to be a pastor, family, my daddy was a real evangelist. Every month, I think once a month for 1 week or 2 weeks, we went out of town, different towns in the area. And one day, my dad and me, we were talking about it, and we count 32 little towns. 3 of them not too little. It's a city. It's a big city. And we went, the whole family. With the whole family, we went in a trailer pulling by 2 horses. And we went to the too many different towns to my dad preach. So was a kind of escape our.
Yeah, that's amazing to me, though. I mean, so your dad is so moved in his faith that he is taking his family in a trailer drawn by a couple of horses.
Yes.
Into other towns to preach Christianity in a place where it's not really accepted that much.
No. They was hard. And that's the good thing. They was really hard because we go to different towns and we just stop on the corner, not building, no nothing, just over there in the street, around the corner in the street. And my dad say, go invite people. We're going to have a service today. 6 o'clock in the afternoon, go around and buy people. So we go out and buy people, and a lot of people that stone us.
Throw rocks at you?
Yes. Some people, they
They stoned you?
Yeah, they let the dogs out to come after us. It was hard,
God.
but nothing bad happened to us.
You were protected. You felt protected.
Yeah, that's what I said. The good things, God was there because all that position, all those angry people that against the Christianity, because they always say, "Viva la Guadalupana, viva la." That means Catholic. So when we come to their house and knock the door, they say, "We're gonna have a service on this street." Blah, 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 on the store there and around the corner. We invite you to say, get out. We don't want nothing. But, like I say, God protect us because nothing seriously happened to us. And my dad never discouraged to do it.
Yeah, something must have happened to your dad at some point in his life to make him go and do that kind of work.
Yes.
With that kind of danger around him. The only people I know of that I've heard that went and risked their lives to spread the gospel, knowing that people were going to try to kill them for it, were the apostles.
My dad, they was in dangers too many times.
Yeah, and the reason they did is because they saw Jesus come back to life after being dead.
Yes.
So I wonder what happened with your dad that made him so convicted in that time.
Yes. He believes on the Bible.
I guess he does.
That's
I wonder
all
if he had his own experience when he was younger.
He pastored 2 churches. And he went to the other town, it's bigger than our town, on a bicycle to go preach on Sunday morning, and came back to our town and preached in our town. So every Sunday for years. So sometimes we, in a special times or special services like anniversaries or something like that, the whole family go to Santa Clara. That's the name of the old town, Santa Clara, and came back to 10 de Abril and preach. And when no service at the church, at the house, we call altar familiar, with the whole family get together. My dad, he was a musician, get his guitar and start singing. My mom and my dad always sing every day, sing. So we got together, the whole family, sing 3-4 songs, and after that they make us to say a verse of the Bible. Not read, say it on your mind.
Memorize it. Yeah,
memorize it every day. So when they was at the church, they was in the church, but in not service at the church, we in the house. So we grow out like that, knowing the Bible, knowing the love of Jesus, knowing everything. Don't put a lot of tension with the devil. Come after you, come to kill you, come to give you hard times and all that. Don't be afraid. Don't be happy.
Yeah.
They say. My dad say, be happy. If they say something to you that because you are a believer, be happy.
Yeah, Scripture teaches that, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wow, that is an amazing childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not common that people live in that environment, even in deeply religious places, much less in places where you are getting dogs released on you and getting stoned and,
Yes.
and throwing rocks at kids.
Yes.
And I just, wow. So that's an amazing experience growing up that really shaped your faith.
Well, when I went to high school, I have to leave my little town to go to high school because no high school in my town. And I live by myself. Imagine living by yourself in a place that nobody knows you. Teenager,
Yeah, no high school in your town.
15 years old, living by yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of friends around you invite you to do things that you don't used to do it.
Yeah.
There was curiously, what?
Curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity.
Yeah. What else is going on in the world? That's right.
Uh-huh. And I feel like a little bird out of the cage.
Yeah, I guess you did.
And I started doing things, not really bad things because, like I say, my values, they was really strong.
Yeah.
So they tried to make me drink a beer, drink wine or anything. I say, no, I don't drink. You have to. No. And I refuse. And they made me then put me in best spot because they want me to drink, make me to drink. I say, no. Go to the dancing room, we have a party, you have to dance. I never do that. I mean, I never did. So I don't know how to dance. And they tried to pull me to do it. So, but I was with them everywhere. So I never did drugs. I never did fornication.
Yeah.
I never did that. And the only thing I was pretty good on it, fighting.
Yeah.
The street fighting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fight 3-4 times a day.
Really?
Yes.
So you didn't touch drugs or alcohol
No.
or girls, but if a fight went down,
Yeah.
you were there.
I was mean. I say I was wild.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I would like to do exercise, run and everything. So I was good with,
Yeah, in good shape.
yeah, boxing. I was really good.
Yeah.
I boxed on Texas for maybe 6 months.
So you're in high school, and how long are you there living by yourself?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
And then what happened after high school?
I came to United States.
Picked up, did you have a job or was a
No,
reason?
reason study. I came to college, a community college in Texas, and I studied electronics. After that, I went back to Mexico, studied in Mexico, the university, and I become a electric.
Electrician?
Yeah, electrician.
Okay.
That's what I study, electrician. So I finished my school in Mexico, and I find a job, technician on electronic, on a company named Senko. We did build TVs. So I worked there for a couple years and no money. And I was graduated, so I have other vision or desires. And I came to United States and back on 87. I went to California and to work there in California. And I decided to get married. I married my wife, Melly, Ermelinda Galindo. I married her back in 1986. And we decided to move to United States because no future in Mexico.
Yeah.
All the doors closed. All doors closed.
Yeah.
And well, I say I know some English. Go to United States. And we came to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, United States back on 1991, April 1991.
What were you doing in Alabama?
I was working on the oil fields.
Okay.
It's not oil, it's gas.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Procedures and everything is the same. I was a dairy hand. They call dairy hand that works on top of the dairy.
Okay. A derrick hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So, did you have a family? Did you have kids at this time?
Yes. Before we got married, my wife and me, we talked about it, how many kids we're going to have and everything. We discussed that, and we agreed to have 2. And we have 2. Yes, Benjamin Jr. and Antonio Galindo. And they were, maybe Tony was 12 years old. And my wife and me just alone in the house, and I say, it's not right, we still real young. And my 2 kids, they're at school or practice. The Junior, he plays football, and Tony, baseball. And they're always at school or playing or practicing, and my wife and me is alone in the house. We are young, and my wife say, what you want? Say, let's go for daughter. And she say, no. Remember, we agreed to have just 2. We say, no, but we need something in the house. It's too quiet.
You wanted to have the third child,
Yes.
and she didn't. See, in my house, it was the opposite. My wife wanted to have a third child, and I was like, I don't think so. I think we're good with 2. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we have 3 now, and she usually wins those arguments. And so, anyway, it's interesting that you wanted the third child,
Yes.
and she was like, no, we're good with 2.
Yes, and I convinced her, and there was a child named Josue.
Joshua.
Yeah, he born in 1996.
So you're an electrician. No, you're on the oil fields or gas fields now. At that time.
Yes, at that time.
When did you begin thinking about being a pastor?
Well, I never thought about it.
Really?
No.
Never thought about being a pastor. Your dad was a pastor. You grew up evangelizing and going town to town, getting rocks thrown at you and everything else, and you never thought about being a pastor.
No. On my mind, always was all the hard times.
Yeah.
Yes, hard times.
Remembering how hard it was?
Yeah. Being pastor, no. So I never thought about it.
Hard times because of not much money being made. It was
everything.
A struggle.
Everything.
Yeah.
Struggle, not enough money to be full-time dedicated to the church. That was different than now. That time, the pastor, there was 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7. Anytime that somebody got sick or somebody had problems or somebody had an accident, the pastor, that was the first call. And our little towns, no ambulance, no doctors, no nothing. So now they have clinics, they have doctors, but that time, nothing. No clinics, no doctors, no emergency, nothing. So the first call, that was my dad.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like dad is daddy of everybody's except us.
Oh, yeah.
We need time with our daddy. I grew up with that.
He was gone a lot, yeah.
We need time. So I always saw that part. all the struggles, all the bad parts, all the needs we have, and all the people how treat us and all that. I saw that. I never saw the good things.
Yeah. So from somewhere in the mid 90s, you got 3 kids now,
Yes.
3 boys,
Uh-huh.
until April of 2001. What happened?
Okay. We have 3 boys, and when I convinced my wife to have the third one, I told her this little kid will grow up with all the attention, and he's not gonna be okay. He needs company.
Yeah.
And my wife said, "No, yes, little kids need another little kid. Let's go for the girl." I said, "No."
4? You're okay.
So we went for the girl, and that time God listened to us, and we have the girl.
So
1999.
So you talked her into a not just a third, but a 4th child.
Yeah, fourth child, girl,
Incredible.
and a girl.
And you got a girl.
Yeah, and that's it. We got the girl, so that's all.
You did not feel like you had been called to be a pastor up until this point. Did you ever, when did you feel called to be a pastor?
Everybody at the church, where I went since 1993 to 2000, there was Georgia. And my pastor asked me almost every Sunday, "I want you to be a minister. Help me. I need your help." As I can help. I can help everywhere, every area. Do you need help? I can. So I was busy, real busy at church. I was the man that do everything.
Handyman.
Handyman.
Yeah.
I do everything at church. Paint, remodeling. I built the kitchen for the church. And I was a handyman and everything. And also I was the treasurer of the church, and I was the secretary of the church, and I was the minister on the evangelist. I have my team to do it. So I say, I'm working. I was also the Sunday school teacher for the adults, and also there was the Sunday school leader or
Director.
Yeah, Sunday school director. And when some teacher didn't show up or something, I have to take their place. So I have to study all the lesson.
Yeah, no wonder he wanted you to be a full-time minister. You're doing all the work already. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my pastor says, for 8 years, I need you. God calling you. I say, no. I can help every area except preaching. I don't want to be a preacher.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor's son, and I know the hard work. I don't want to be a preacher. I don't want to be a pastor. I say, yes, you have the calling. You love to work. You love everything. So why not? I say, no. No. For 8 years, I say no.
Was it just you saying, I don't want to do the work that I've seen my dad have to do? Or did you get home sometimes and say, did you have that feeling that maybe you were supposed to be a pastor after all?
No.
You didn't have that feeling?
No.
You didn't feel a calling?
No, because I was busy working. And I feel like I'm already working. Why you want me to be a pastor if I'm doing it? Not preaching.
Yeah.
But I'm working.
Well, there's a lot of other ministry work
Yes.
that we all do that goes beyond being a pastor.
Yeah, now I understand. I understand that. But that time I say, no. And God calling you to see. Sometimes pastor pull me to preach, and you can see the answer of the people, the listeners.
Yeah.
And that's why he says, who gonna tell you you have a call from God to be a pastor? Who? God gonna tell you? You gonna hear the voice of God to calling you to preach like Jonah, like everybody else? It's not gonna happen. The Bible tells you in the church. And he tried to convince me different ways. I say no. No. Nope.
So what happened?
Ooh. What happened? I refused to do it. That's why the Bible tell me in Psalms 32:9, don't be like a mule or horse. And I understood that after the accident.
So tell us about the accident.
Okay, the accident that happened in January the 6th, back in 2001.
Okay, so you were in Georgia, and this pastor had been trying to get you to become a pastor in most of the middle 90s to late 90s.
Yes.
And so now you are in 2001, you're still at that church.
Yes.
You still haven't answered the call to be a pastor. You
Yes.
still don't believe that that's what you're supposed to be doing. And so now you are in, it's just, the year 2000 has just ended. You've just gotten into 2001.
Yes. 2001, and the accident happened, and no reason to happen that accident. Because before the accident, God gave us a signal.
A signal.
Yeah.
God had given you a signal.
Yes, because we was in a pickup SD 10, and we have some beans on that and all my baggage. And one of the tires lost a piece of rubber.
So you're in a pickup truck.
Yes.
And you're carrying
Beans.
Uh-huh. You said luggage or baggage too.
Yeah, my baggage too.
So is it just you?
No. There was my brother, my older brother, he was driving. And my wife, my daughter, they was in the cabin. And my son and me are in the back.
You and your son were in the back of the truck.
Correct.
And where are you going? Are you delivering these beans someplace?
Taking home.
So
we bought the beans to bring home.
Okay.
To have beans at home to eat or to share. The family, they give us, because they grow beans. They give us some, talking about maybe 400 pounds.
Okay, so you went to somebody's house who grows beans and got
Mm.
beans for your family and
Yes.
loaded them in the back of the truck and are heading home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that when the tire lost a piece of rubber, then I told my brother, slow down, because God already let us know that the tire's not too good. So we have all day to get to our home. Don't be rash. Slow down. He didn't listen to me. He just was like lost mind. Like he was sleeping. So we bought a new tire, and we put the new tire on the Aspire one. We put the Aspire to get to the city. We get to the city, we bought a new tire and put the new tire on it and hit the interstate. And I told him again, give me the key. I'm going to drive. You're driving so fast. And we load. We are low. We have some weight on the pickup, so you don't slow down. He didn't listen to me. He was lost.
Mm.
And I didn't like that. He was lost. And I say, hey, give me the key. He didn't say yes, no. He just ignored me. Give me the key. I'm going to drive. He ignored me. He went inside the pickup. crank it. Let's go. And when we put the new tire, after an hour, that happened again. The other tire.
Another tire is
Another
blowing
tire.
out?
Back of the tire lost a piece of rubber and start hitting the pickup, and you can hear the noise.
Yeah.
Tack, 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 tack. And I got up because I was laying on the back of the pickup with my son. It was a little cold. And he didn't stop. So I got up and knocked on the cabin real hard. When I did that, the tire blew. And I just lay down on the back of the pickup to get my son and hug him real tight.
Yeah.
At the same time, I look at my left side, and I was flying. There was about maybe 12, 14 foot from my head from the rope.
You were in the air.
Yeah, I was in the air.
You had gotten airborne.
Uh-huh. So I hit the rope on my left side, on my head, on my face, and I almost lost my left eye. That's why I use glasses now.
Yeah.
And my whole side, it was bad. My nose was broke too, and I lost some skin on my left arm and my left leg. That was bad because I think I hit the road and keep going.
Yeah, you skid across. Yeah, slid across the road.
And I lost my conscience.
You were knocked unconscious. Yeah,
I knocked unconscious, and when that happened, I saw my body, and my body was twisted. My legs and everything, they was upside down, up.
All right, so you say you saw your body. What do you mean you saw your body?
I saw my body. I want to be inside my body, but I can't.
You were outside of your body.
I was outside my body.
And you saw your body, it bent backwards.
Yes, it was really
Twisted.
Because like I say, my legs and everything was up, and I twist, and almost my head, it was up too. Twist all the way. And I saw it. When I saw it, I look up, but I feel a pain, sharp pain on me. That I want to be on my body, but I don't have no willing, I can do nothing. And I describe that like when you vacuum the carpet.
When you vacuum the carpet.
The carpet. I feel like the vacuum your soul and your spirit out of your body.
Oh, it was sucking you out.
Yeah, sucking you out really strong that you cannot do nothing about it. Because I want to be on my body, but
you couldn't get back to it.
Nope. That time I look up and I say, God, give me another chance. Give me another chance. And I look down back. I said, give me another chance. At that time, I saw the verse.
What do you mean you saw the verse?
The verse. I saw like I was reading the Bible.
You're still out of your body.
Yes.
What you would guess is 15, 20 feet off the ground. Is that right?
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10 feet above your body.
Yes.
You have asked God for a second chance.
Yes.
And in that moment, you see like pages, like you're looking at a Bible in front of you.
Correct.
And Psalm 32:9 is what you see.
I saw that.
And it says, and this is the New International Version on Psalm 32:9, do not be like the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, but must be controlled by bit and bridle, or they will not come to you.
Correct.
What did that mean to you?
That means that I was running from God, from the calling. At that time, I understood that.
You weren't understanding what he was trying to get you to do, and so he's having to control you
Yes.
like a horse.
Yes. And I say, when you got a wild horse or a mule, and you put a rope on it, they run, and so if the rope is strong enough, they will follow and roll. And I feel that way. That God tried to get close to him, and I refused to. That's why that happened.
So what happened after you saw this vision?
After this, I saw that. I'm not sure how long that was, how many hours passed, but I woke up on the ambulance, and that was my wife by me. And the first thing I saw her, I didn't feel my body. No feeling. I was awake, but like nobody.
Mm.
Just my head.
Mm.
I feel my head and heavy, real heavy, my head. I feel my head like maybe 200 pounds
Yeah.
weight, heavy. And I look and I saw my wife. She was crying. And I call her corazón, that means sweetheart. Are you okay? She say, no. Where's Josue? I say, don't know. We cannot cry because I just barely talk. She says, you know where's Josue? You know. The last time I saw him, that was when I hugged him real strong. And I lost my conscience. And I don't know. I don't hear him crying at the accident. I didn't saw him. Where's he? I say, don't know. Don't know. I lost my conscience again. I woke up on the mortgage.
So in the ambulance, she's asking you where
Yes.
he is,
Uh-huh.
and you say, the last time I remember him, I was holding him as tight as I could.
Yes.
And neither of you knew where he was?
No. They took us to a hospital in one city, but no doctors, no nurses, because 6th of January in Mexico is a holiday. So they didn't do anything to us. So they moved us to another city in the ambulance. And that's when I woke up in the other ambulance. And when I woke up, I feel my body. I felt my body. I feel like heat in my whole body. Heat. And also there was heat like burning you up. It was heat but cool.
Yeah.
That's something that when you feel the presence of God on you, I feel that. When I feel that, I say, God is working on me.
You felt like he was healing you. So
Yes.
the ambulance took you to a hospital right after the accident. There were no doctors there because that is a holiday in Mexico, and they were
Yes.
not working that day. So they took you to another hospital.
Yes.
All in the same day.
Same day.
And it is that ambulance ride from the first hospital to the second hospital where you woke up again
Yes.
and began to get some sensation and feeling back.
Yes.
It was hot, but at the same time it felt cold.
Mm-hmm.
And you believe that that was God beginning to heal your body.
Yes. Yes, and that's what I say. I feel like God put me on the anvil. Anvil.
You mentioned this before.
Yes.
You felt like God was putting you on an anvil. An anvil
Yes.
is a tool, obviously, for people to understand where people who do metal work shape metal
Yes.
with a hammer.
Give him a form. That's what I say that God put me on that, and I start feeling my body, and I went to sleep again. But they supposed to take me to the hospital, but they didn't took me to the hospital. They put me straight to the mortgage because they say it's nothing to do. We cannot do nothing to it. It's bad.
They didn't take you to the hospital?
They was in the hospital, but where they put the people that die.
They took you to the morgue.
Yeah.
Did they examine you? Did they declare you dead?
Yes.
The doctor
Yes.
declared you dead.
In the first hospital, they took us. They did X-rays on my body. So what they say I got all my right ribs broke.
All of your ribs on the right-hand side are
And
broken.
this,
And your sternum.
yeah, broke. 3 ribs over here and my
Clavicle.
clavicle. Broke.
So he's pointing to these things, and so your clavicle, 3 ribs up on your upper left side, and all of the ribs on your right side
Correct.
are all broken.
All broke, and also on my little low on my back, on my neck, there was a broke too. In my lower back, there was my spine, there was broken 2 pieces. Well, then the X-rays, I saw the line,
Yeah.
white line. There was mean that they was broke.
So in 2 places on your back, one in your neck and one in your lower back,
Yes.
it is separated, is broken.
Yes.
So a broken back in 2 places.
Yes.
All your ribs on your right side,
Mm-hmm.
your clavicle on your left side, and 3 ribs upper side on your left.
Correct.
All of that's broken.
Yes. That's why they say no hope.
Did you have a pulse? Was your heart beating?
No.
No heartbeat.
No, because I have the marks where they put me.
With the paddles?
Yes.
And they were trying to bring you back.
Yes. So when I woke up, I saw like a burn. My skin was burned, and there was like a ulcer, open ulcer
Yeah.
right here.
All right. So at the hospital, they declared you dead
Yes.
and moved you to the morgue.
Yes. To the other city. That took about hour and a half.
So they declared you dead. They move you. Why did they move you to another hospital?
Because they want the family get in the same hospital
Okay.
with the same doctor.
So
Because
you have
we had an insurance, medical insurance.
insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you had insurance, and so they wanted to keep everybody
Together.
from the accident together. So they just transported you to the other hospital with everybody else and took you directly to the morgue.
Yes, until somebody of my family come to recognize.
All right, so this has to be a few hours.
I believe that the accident passed the time there was 11:30 in the morning.
Okay, the accident happened at 11:30 a.m.
Yes, and when they started attending me again, there was 2:00 in the morning. So after that, I asked the doctor how long they put me there. They say probably 7 hours.
So probably 7 hours from the time that you had the accident until you were
I woke up.
until you woke up
Mm-hmm.
in the morgue.
Yes.
All right, so that's a long window of being
Yes.
declared dead.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you have any experience yourself?
No, yes, when I was by the road.
On the roadside, you had...
I don't know how long it took to the police to get there and the ambulance.
But-
I lost.
But when you were declared dead,
They was on the hospital. Probably there was around 2 o'clock,
Okay.
1:30, something like that.
so I'm just trying to work through this. So conceivably, you could have died on the roadside,
Yes.
at which point you left your body,
Hmm.
are looking down at your body,
Yes.
and are in the process of transitioning spiritually into your next life.
Yes.
You asked God for a second chance.
Correct. And I cry.
You cried,
I cry a lot.
and He shows you Psalm 32:9,
Correct.
basically stating, "I have been calling you, but you are stubborn like a horse,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm having to shape you now."
Yes.
In the ambulance, you felt like you had a sensation in your body or in your back
Yeah, the second ambulance.
in the second ambulance.
Uh-huh.
But they had already determined that you were
Yes.
dead at that point. So conceivably, you could have actually died, and then God began to working on you, and they incorrectly pronounced you dead.
Yes.
So you may have been in your healing process back to life,
Mm-hmm.
even in the first ambulance. So they may have gotten it wrong, but just sent you to the morgue anyway, even though no heartbeat, every indication is that you're gone.
Yes. That's why they took me straight to the X-ray to find out what happened to me.
Yeah. So they took X-rays and saw all these broken things.
Yes. And they say, we cannot do anything. The science told them he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's nothing to do.
Right.
Too many broke bones. So
Yeah, but you can have broken bones and a heartbeat.
mm,
You know, if you got a heartbeat and brain activity,
I probably didn't have.
I guess that's where I'm going. All right. Hopefully they didn't just send you to the morgue with a beating heart just because it's going to be too difficult. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to understand is what your true condition was medically, and I certainly believe the out of body experience. I think that is very, very powerful. But if you were truly dead, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how any of that works spiritually, and when we transition into heaven and next life and all those things. I've not done that, and so I'm really not sure what the process is, but it would feel like that if you were dead, actually gone for 7 or 8 hours, I wonder, did you have an additional experience? Did you see something else or any other encounter with God?
No.
Yeah. So you woke up in the morgue. Were you awake in the morgue when someone came to identify you, or did somebody come in there and pray over you, or what happened?
No, that two brothers-in-law, one of my wife's brother and my sister's husband came to identify us. That's what they told me that I was in the morgue because I didn't know. Yeah. But they told me that before. Yeah. When I come out of the hospital, they told me you was with the dead people, only dead bodies there.
So they came to identify you.
Yes.
In the morgue.
Yes. When they identified me, I didn't saw them. I was sleeping or dead. Don't know.
Yeah.
And they got sick. They threw up and they went running back to outside to the morgue because feeling that the stomach and trying to throw out and all that. And they ran, and when I woke up, the first thing I realized it was dark, and smell.
Mm.
And I woke up and I was tied on the carried bed.
Yeah.
It was tied over here on my arms, on my chest, against the bed, and my legs too. Because they just put me there. They didn't do anything to me. Just get and the ambulance, and they tie my arms and my legs on the bed, and that's it. So when I woke up, it was dark where I was, smell, and I saw somebody that came close to me, and there was a pastor, and he say, "Son, ain't nothing. Doctor says it's nothing they can do for you." And I say, "They're wrong. God heal me." And he got scared because he thought I was dead.
So he's talking over you. He's not talking to you at the time. He's talking over you. He thinks
Yes.
that you're dead.
Yes.
And he's sad because he's saying the doctor said there was nothing they could do for you.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And he thinks he's talking to a dead body.
Yes. Like I say, it was dark, so he cannot see me.
And you spoke?
Yes.
So he's standing over you in the dark,
Uh-huh.
and he's saying, "Son, I'm sorry. There's nothing.
Yes.
They said there's nothing they could do." And you spoke to him when he
Yes.
thought you were dead.
I say, they're wrong. They're wrong. God heal him. Heal me.
What did he do?
He say he got scared, and I'd say, I can feel my arms. I move my fingers on my arm, and I can feel my legs, and I move my feet. He runs.
I guess he did. He thought you were dead, and now you're moving your toes and fingers and telling him some stuff. So what did he do? I guess he went and got the doctors?
Yes, he went round. He runs. I saw him. He running, and suddenly, quick, he got 2 nurses, and they was like really emergency that time because they was moving fast.
Yeah.
They took me back to the X-rays. It's not possible to this man be alive.
They'd pronounced you dead.
Yes.
Thought you were dead. You're in the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
Preacher comes and prays over you.
Mm-hmm.
While you're awake,
It's
not like the prayer revived you.
Mm-hmm.
You were awake.
Yes.
And then you spoke to him,
Yes.
scaring him to death. And then, so he ran out, grabbed the nurses,
Mm-hmm.
and they wheel you back and saying this is impossible. He was
Yes.
dead,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's alive.
Yes. And they took me to X-ray, and the doctor came and says, "Hey, this is a miracle, mira." He said, "Mira, look, look. I have the X-rays of the first hospital you went, and they showed you all the broken bones.
All the ribs,
Uh-huh.
clavicle.
And now I have the X-rays I took here, and nothing. And your back,
What?
nothing in your back."
Your back was broken in 2 places?
Yes.
All right. How long has it been since they took the first x-rays?
Probably 2 hours.
2 hours?
Maybe 3. Because from one city to the other city, an hour. But I don't know how long I was in the morgue. I figure out maybe 2 hours because it takes 6 hours from my family to get from where they was living to the hospital. 6 hours. If they told them what happened and somebody needs to go to the hospital to recognize them, took 6 hours plus 3 hours from the accident to the hospital, and I say maybe 8 hours. But when my brother-in-law showed up to recognize me, I was unconscious, so I didn't know what time they showed up. But when the pastor came, there was around 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, but what I think I heard you say was that the two nurses came into the morgue and got you,
Yes.
stunned that you're alive, it's impossible, and then took you to get an x-ray.
Yes.
And the doctor takes the x-ray and looks at it, and the broken bones that had just been x-rayed the day before.
No, there was maybe 3-4 hours before.
Okay, 3 or 4 hours before,
Yes.
where there are all these broken bones here. The new x-ray, are you telling me that the new x-ray showed that there were no broken bones?
No, on my back. Just my ribs and my sternum.
Just so the ribs and the sternum were all
Yes.
that were still broken.
Yes.
But the two places where you had a broken back,
Yes.
were no longer broken.
No longer.
How do you explain that?
When I woke up in the ambulance, I start feeling my body. This one got works on me. I asked for another chance. I asked God for another chance to do what I supposed to be doing. If my purpose of this life, I didn't do anything about it, give me another chance to work on the purpose of my life. When I woke up in the ambulance and I feel my body, that's when I believe God come and healing my body. That's when I started feeling all those heat, and same time it's cold, it feels good. And I started moving my feet and my arms.
But when you got that first x-ray, though, it showed the two places broken.
Yes.
Still.
Yes.
And you described this when you were in the ambulance the first time and you were talking to your wife. You had no feeling below your neck.
No feeling.
Second ambulance ride is when you woke up and felt this warm/cold feeling, and in your mind was God repairing you.
Yes.
But when you got to the hospital, so was the first hospital they did the x-ray?
Yes.
Okay, so you had no feeling then.
Feeling.
They did an x-ray there and then sent you to the next hospital.
Yes.
So in that ambulance ride, you had already had one x-ray, but you began to get feeling back, and you felt like he was healing you in that time.
Yes.
And then when you get woken up in the morgue several hours later, they take you back and get an x-ray. The two places that were broken on your back are healed.
Yes. Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
So the doctor says, if I've survived, I never will walk again.
If you survive, you'll never walk again.
He says because you got 5 discs of your back. Herniated?
Herniated?
Yeah, herniated. So you're not going to be able to walk.
Even though the spine has been healed, you're not going to be able to walk again, is what he's saying.
Yes. You have to start thinking that you all your life will be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I say, well, before they declare me dead, and I'm here, alive, the same God that worked on me on the ambulance, He will work on me to make me walk again. And they didn't understand that, but I say it. I believe in God, and I know God. He will heal me.
So how did it happen? What happened next?
And at that time, I feel okay. Pain, like normal. My ribs and can breathe, and they put me to inflate the balloons. Balloons, but no, I can't do it. But they say you have to do it. That make you your ribs be on each other the same
Okay.
spot. That way you will be healed.
Okay.
Quick.
So you had to breathe deeply
Yes.
to get your lungs to expand to push your ribs back into place.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So my son and my daughter didn't know where they at. No, don't know nothing about that.
They didn't know about the accident?
My daughter and my son, no, they wasn't the accident. My son died in the accident.
Joshua died.
Yes, yeah.
Did you know this? When did you find out he died?
At the time I saw my body.
You knew. Did you see him
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
When you were out of your body?
Yes. And when they do to find out how they die, how do you say that?
Autopsy?
Autopsy. When they did that, nothing wrong in the body of my son. What happened when the pickup spin and one of the rims that the tire blow-ups hit right over here on front head, and that was what killed him.
He took a blow to the head from one of the rims from the tires as the truck was flipping.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that you lost him
That time because I saw him with all this open.
You saw that when you were above your
Yes.
body.
Yes.
You didn't just see you saw him as well.
Mm-hmm. And I told my wife in the first ambulance, I told her.
You told her that you saw him?
Yeah. I told her, it's gone. Hey, she says, somebody took him, and I will see him again. She refused all the time that our son died.
She refused to believe that he died?
Mm-hmm.
She believed that somebody had taken him from
Yes.
the scene?
Yes.
So they didn't recover his body?
Oh, yes. But my wife,
No. Oh, wow.
so my sister told her that he was okay. So I told my sister, don't lie. Tell her the truth. I already told her.
She did that. Did she do that just to protect her and to help her to
Yes.
not worry about it while she was in the hospital
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
having her own condition?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They told her later because I told them, don't lie. God give us another chance. And we have a purpose on this life, my wife and me. So don't lie. Tell the truth. It's not going to hurt her more than that. So tell.
That's awful. And for you to have, in your own experience, seen him with the wound to his head, and then it turns out, in fact, that is what happened. You knew it already because you had seen him outside of your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are in the hospital, and they've told you that you're not going to walk again. This is January still.
January.
2001.
I spent 10 days. 10 days on the hospital. At that time, 3 days later, my dad has a pastor that was real close to him. And he was pastoring a church in the same city. So 3 days later, he found out that we were on that hospital. He got in touch with my dad, I believe. No cell phone or nothing at that time. So I don't know how he found out. Maybe the pastor went to pray for me on the morning. He get in touch with him.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
his name is Manuel Manuel Galindo, the same last name of my dad, and they was good friends and worked together for a long time preaching. So he showed up, and he went to the doctor's office and argued with him because they didn't take care of us. They did. I know them since they was kids. When I walk into the room, I didn't recognize them. You have to give them a shower, clean them. They still have a lot of blood on their face and a lot of dust on their face. We cannot recognize them. You have to do something with them. So the nurses came, and because the doctor talked to them, and they was mean to us.
Really?
The nurses, yeah, because they get into them, and they take a little piece of rag and start with water, start cleaning us on the bed. But 3 days later, so that time they find out all my wounds on my body. I say, well, you do something, because I have fever every night. And they did, until my sister-in-law shows up, and I asked her, and she did it. So when the nurse find out that my sister-in-law was working on me, I say, hey, that's my shop. I supposed to do that. Yeah, you're supposed to do that 3 days ago.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the medical care that you're getting is not
No, it's not like here.
not super good, and
No.
but God, you feel like God has granted your request for a
Yes.
second chance.
Yes.
And has told you that, in fact, you're going to be doing work for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm shaping you into that.
Yes.
You had a severed spine and multiple broken ribs and clavicle, and you were only in the hospital for 10 days.
Yes. After the 7 days, I remember that the 7 days, I was thinking to take a shower. Go to the shower room and take a shower. I tried to get up. Can't get up. But I try. I need to get up out of this bed. I don't believe what the doctor says. I believe what God told me.
They told you you're not going to walk again.
Yes. I don't believe what they say. I need to get up. So I sat on my bed. I tried to get up. Can't do it. So I asked my brother-in-law, my sister, to take me to the shower, and they hang me. I hang on them, and I went to the shower, and I stand on the shower. They put the chairs on there. They put a chair in there, so I sit in the chair, and I took a shower myself.
You had broken ribs still, though, right?
Yes.
Was it painful?
Oh, yes. Bad. Sometimes I try to cough.
Yeah.
And the point of the wrist did like this.
Oh, God.
And my sister had to push the bones down.
Oh, my goodness.
So by the 7 days I try. I say, yeah, I don't believe what doctors say. I try. God. Always God. God is on this. He will get me out of this. And I try to say, well, after the shower, I call my brother-in-law and my sister, and I say, come and help me. And they made me do some steps. 8 days, again, 2 times a day.
So your family is working to rehabilitate you right there in the hospital.
Yes.
Though the doctors and nurses are nowhere to be found.
They didn't care about it.
So they're standing you up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with a back injury, and what was a severed spine, and 5 herniated discs, I don't know how this is happening.
God's. I feel like God was there. Like I say, my spiritual life, my willing to live, to change everything, the accident. I start thinking different. I'm going to preach. I'm going to go reach people. I'm going to go preach the gospel where nobody preach. And that was my mind, all that. So pain, that's okay. I'm alive. That's why I have pain. And I have to get ready as soon as possible. Help me. No, you don't supposed to move. You don't supposed to do. I don't supposed to. I don't supposed to be alive. What they say. So, help me.
So you're believing that God has ordained your healing, and you are basically saying, "I'm going to do everything I can to participate in my healing with God."
Yes.
And let's get this thing going, and so that we can begin the work that He has told me that I am to do, and who has answered my prayer of giving me a second chance.
Correct. And I believe that faith is not just a word.
Not just a word, yeah.
No. Faith, if I say I have faith, I have to do so. Because if I say I have faith, but I don't do nothing, I really has faith. So I believe faith is do.
Yeah, faith involves action,
yes.
Right? Or it's not really faith.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that's why I say, well, I'm alive. I feel okay. All my emotional, I feel okay. I feel strong, spiritual. I feel like I have a lot of things to do.
Yeah, and you're sitting there saying, I was dead, and now I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I was because I was actually out of my body and asked God to give me a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And He did. Yes. And I felt Him working on me in that second ambulance. Mm-hmm. And so I know that the work is already in motion.
Yes.
It's just a matter of doing it. So I'm going to believe that when I get up and ask you guys to pick me up and move, that it's not going to cause damage.
Correct.
It's just part of healing.
Yes.
That's the faith that you're talking about.
Yes. Because they refuse to. They don't want to.
Yeah.
I say, no.
Yeah.
I know. No problem. You don't know. Just help me.
Just.
You're not going to be in trouble, so just help me.
Ooh, I don't know how you do that. I mean, you've got family members that's like, okay, if I pick him up, science tells me that I'm going to be doing damage to him that may prevent him from walking. Mm-hmm. He's telling me that God has already promised him healing and that it's going to actually create healing. Mm-hmm. What do I do? So I guess they picked you up.
Yes. So I got up out of the hospital. My wife, they say, no, she's not ready. I say, yes, she's ready. I'm going to sign for her and I will take her with me. I was more damaged than her, so she's ready. Let me take her to my house. Oh, you are responsible for it? Yes. Where I need to sign.
Did you get her?
Yes. And your brother? Oh, well, my brother, he's not okay. He can stay.
So he was hurt
badly
too?
Yes. At the end, 2009, he died because of that.
Because of injuries from the wreck in 2001?
Yes.
And your daughter?
She didn't suffer anything. Nothing. Any cut, any skirt, nothing. Nothing happened to her.
Wow.
Nothing. We almost lost her because in the first hospital was no personnel, no nurses, no doctors, no nothing. And my brother, me, and my wife unconscious, and nobody to take care of my daughter.
Yeah.
When one of my brothers-in-law came to rescue her, to take her, And the office of the hospital told them that somebody came, tried to get her.
Somebody you didn't know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, but they asked for the ID, and they didn't have ID to match with the last name or my last name or my wife's last name. So that's why they didn't give it to them. When my brother-in-law shows up to the hospital, that took about 6 hours to get there, asking for the family, and they say they got the daughter here. Oh, give it to me. No, somebody took that child to their house, and this is the address. So my brother-in-law went to that lady house asking for my daughter, and she said, yeah, I got your sister's daughter here with me. I'm a Christian. That's why they call me, to take care of her.
Somebody else had tried to get her, and
Yes.
they didn't give her up.
Mm-hmm. But they give it to that.
So they
person.
called another lady and said,
Mm-hmm.
we need somebody to take care of this.
Yes.
You're a Christian, so
Yes.
take care of her until we can find family.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And did you ever find out who the first one was?
No. But the second one, yes. I invite her to come to visit us, and she spent a week with us.
Really?
Yes.
That is amazing. So they said you wouldn't walk again. You're beginning to walk in the hospital. When did you fully regain your ability to walk?
I got to my house, and somebody gave me a bicycle to do exercise.
Yeah, stationary bike.
Yes, stationary bike. And I have a crunch. You put it here and
Crutches, yeah.
crutches. And so I use the crunches to move to the bicycle. When I sit on the bicycle, I start moving my legs, running on the bicycle, slow, real slow. The days pass, and every day I spend 3-4 hours there.
Mm.
I say, I'm gonna walk. I want to walk. I want to walk. 3-4 days later, I spend a little bit more. I work.
A little stronger every day?
Yes, getting stronger every day. Finally, in April, I start walking by myself.
4 months.
Yes, no more crunches. See, no more. I walk slow and like a twist.
Yeah, twisted.
I cannot walk straight. I was twist.
You couldn't walk straight.
I walk like that.
Yeah.
I have a few appointments with the specialists on my back. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. I don't have nothing to say. I can see all your X-rays and no worse. I say, God. God working. Still working on me. I say, that's why you believe, so believe it.
That is a miracle.
Yes, it is.
I mean, all of it is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it all started when you asked for a second chance.
Yes. And I was praying one day. I was praying, God, I know you bring me from the dead. I know you have a purpose for me, but I don't understand. What's the purpose? But you have to give me a gift. What do you want me to do? And the answer was, you have to preach. How? How God answered me? I went to the service one day, one night. After the service finished, I went to the altar and get on my knees. And I start praying, seeking for the answers. And suddenly, a man came and put his hand on my shoulders. And he started speaking in English. He says, I need you to go out of these four walls, out of this building. You have to go and preach my word. Preach the gospel. And I will go with you. And everything you ask, I will answer. When the service finished, I will stand up. I look, the man that came to me, and outside I ask him, do you speak English? He says, nope. You don't speak English? Nope. Don't lie to me. Are you speaking English? I say, nope. Yes, okay. It's the only English I know. Why? Why you are asking me that way? Say, because you was praying for me in English. Say, it's impossible. I don't speak English. Yeah, you did. I understood. I have to preach.
All right, so I'm going to try to make sure that I understand what just happened here. You had gone to a worship service, and you went up to the altar at the end of the service, praying, still asking what you should do.
Yes.
And another man that you recognized and know came up behind you.
Yes.
And put his hands on you to pray for you.
Yes.
So he was praying whatever he was praying. But what you heard wasn't in Spanish. It was in English.
Yes.
And it was basically a command or telling you that what he wanted you to do
to go out
was to go out of this building and go and preach. And that wherever you go, that he would be with you.
Correct. Yes. And I had a friend, and his name is, I'm going to say it because they happen. Probably he will listen to this. His name is Lorenzo Quesada. He has a little car, and I asked him, Brother Lorenzo, God sent me to Durango, and I believe he sent me there. Would you take me in your car? He said, yes. When? Tonight. Tonight? Yes. God told me today, so I'm going to do it. Tonight. He says, what time? I say, 8 o'clock. I say, well, already 6:30. At 8 o'clock, see you at your house. Let me tell my wife and get some clothes, and we go. How many days? I say, 7. We're going to go 7 days. Okay. At 8 o'clock, he was at my house. And I just told my wife, I'm going to go. Where? I'm going to do like a Pastor Paul, to do a trip, missionary trip. I said, where? I said, Durango. Oh.
Durango.
Yeah. Why? Because God told me.
Durango what?
Durango, Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes.
Durango, Mexico. So you left Alabama?
Yes.
Suddenly, and you said you needed a ride, and the guy said what time, and was there, and you guys took off to Durango, Mexico, on a mission trip.
Yes.
Just like that.
Mm-hmm. We got there Monday morning. We got there, and I asked the pastor, where's the pastor? Where's the pastor live? They say, oh, he lives on the pastor house by the temple. Okay, I went, and I told him, God sent me to this town to preach. if you let me borrow your church, use your church to preach today. He says, today, Monday. I say, yes, today, Monday. You let me use your church, God will bless you. He says, I need to ask my authority. Let's go to the station where they have a phone to call. He called, and the superintendent says, where do you come from? I say, well, I come from this part and this city. This is my pastor and everything, but God told me to come over here and preach. And I ask if I can use your church. And he says, let me talk to the pastor again. He called, say, what did he say? He doesn't make a decision. I say, well, let me talk to him. And I say, I'm going to do a service today if you let me use your church. If not, I will do it in the street. Nothing going to stop me. I face too many judges. I knock them down. So he says, okay, use a church. So I start going around telling people we're going to have a special service today, miracle service.
Just like when you were a kid.
Yes. Come. And we went to another towns, invite them. Today at 7 o'clock, we have a lot of people show up. Don't know how many got saved, but quite a few. At 11 o'clock in that night, 6 people make a decision to get baptized at that moment. We didn't have a place, but a woman for that town she says, oh, I have a place where you can baptize them. I have a little thing that I put water in there, save water.
Like a tub.
Yeah. In case the water, no water in the town, I have water all the time. We went there. There was about maybe 10 foot long, but 4 wide, by maybe 5 or 6 deep, full of water. Use it. We baptized 6 people there the first night.
That's amazing.
Yes, second day was another town. I went to the radio station. Tried to give us some time to do the announce that we will be there. But they closed the doors. And I told the man, well, you always do a community help. When the people need something or anything, you always say that on the radio. And you do that for the people, and why not on religious? I say, no. Okay, God bless you. We went calling people, telling people, we're going to have a service on this time in this area, and this is the address. Come. God will do something with you. God will heal you. Come. For 7 days I did that. 7 days in different towns, different cities. And last day, Sunday, I preached in 3 different cities. The first city, that was about an hour from where I was staying. And the second city was 3 hours. So I came back and drive 4 hours and a half to go to the other city. I preached 9 o'clock in the morning, Sunday. I preached 2 o'clock in the afternoon in another city. And I preached 6 o'clock in the afternoon in another town. There was a town. Man, there was an experience that you was walking on the wings of the eagle.
After you felt like you had gotten your legs to work again,
Mm-hmm.
and you immediately
Start walking.
you started walking, and then
Working.
and then you got the guy to take you all the way
Mm-hmm.
to Durango, Mexico.
Yes.
And from there, spent 7 days
Mm-hmm.
going to different towns, finding a place, and then going out and inviting people
Mm-hmm.
until time of service and preached
Yes.
for 7 days.
Yes.
What made you do that? I have to go to Durango, Mexico.
The guy that was praying for me.
He
in
told you
English.
in that prayer, he
Yes.
said to go to Durango?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that before. I just felt
No.
like he had said,
No, I didn't say it.
no, that he just
Mhm.
told you to go and
Yes.
that he would be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear that and the fact that he spoke in English and the person praying for you didn't speak English,
Nothing.
it wasn't what the guy was praying, right? Are you saying that did you feel like these were the words of Christ
Yes.
standing behind you
Mm-hmm.
while another man's praying for you and giving you what he really wanted you to do?
Yes.
And he told you to not just to leave there and preach, but to leave there and go to Durango.
Yes.
And you did.
I feel that. I feel that. And I went.
And your friend believed you.
Yes.
And he took you.
Yes.
I bet that was an experience that he will never forget.
No.
Or you either.
He's still every time we have a good communication.
Yeah.
Every time he come, he brings that.
So did you keep
Because-
preaching? How did
Oh, yes.
How did things shape up from there?
Yes, when I start walking, I went to the church and my pastor says, well, he called me Benji. I need your help. I need you to make a team. And that team, they will help us to grow. So you have to choose anybody. I'm not going to say this no, this yes, this person not qualified, anything. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Get the team. So I start talking to the church members because I didn't know them very well because there was a new church. And I made a team for 16 person.
People? Yeah.
Yes. They will take me about 6 months to because in the beginning I got 60. They sign up. 60 sign up, but some of them they're not willing to work.
Yeah. Right.
So I got 16. I started working, and that church there was about maybe 53 members. We grew up quick, become 230 members quick. And the church that was small, we have to do 3 services, sometimes Sundays, because too many people came.
Yeah.
Because my testimony, the people talk about it, and I was there, and a lot of people came. So my pastor says, I have 6 deacons. If these deacons they want to be a pastor, just let me know. So 4 of them, they say, we are ready to be a pastor. We went to school and everything. We are ready. So we start a new churches, 4 new churches in 4 years.
Wow. You started 4 new churches.
Yes.
In 4 years after your accident.
Yes. And the last church, there was 60 something. They went to start a new church, 60 something. Well, in total, that year, 2004, there was 94 members of our church went out to different churches.
Really?
Yeah, new mission, new workers.
To grow
Yes.
new churches.
Yes. We lost 94. And my pastor get a little bit sad because that. And 1 year we lost 94 members. And he was a little bit sad. And I say, don't be sad because we don't lose people. We are working. They're not here, but they are walking where they went.
So you didn't lose 94 members. You sent them out
Yes.
to go do mission work.
Yes. And I say, that's good.
Yeah.
And we don't lose, we gain.
Right.
He say, how? We have a regular 40, an average 40 new people every Sunday.
You average 40 guests.
Yes,
visiting,
40 guests.
Visitors every
visitors every Sunday.
Wow.
And we keep a list.
Yeah.
That's why I say that. I have a team, a good team to do it. So I have people in front of the doors to take names and everything. So on average it was 40. And that year we baptized about 60 plus 40 plus 13 they came from another church to move to our church. So we talking about 100 and something. And the pastors say we lost 94. I say, no, we don't lose.
Yeah.
The church is not empty. Look around.
It's amazing. So God has clearly asked you to preach and grow churches and is working through you and promised you that he would be with you in all that. Let me ask you, how did your view of God change after the accident?
Like Pastor Sands, I saw all the bad things, struggles, bullying, hard times, people that tried to kill my dad because he was pastor. I saw all that. But after the accident, my mind changed. And I saw all the blessing. I forgot the bad things and I started remember all the blessing. My daddy, he was in agriculture. He grows beans, corns, hot peppers. And every year, rains on my daddy lands. And sometimes didn't rains on the other people lands. And the people says rains only in the land of the saint. So I start seeing nowadays when we go out to our town, that my dads want to preach around the towns close to there. Sometimes take us 8 hours to get there on the trailer pulling by horses. 8 hours. And I start remember that my dad and my mom, they never worry about take lunch with us. They never say we're gonna take lunch to eat in the on the road. We eat
because
they believe that God will provide.
They just had faith.
Yes,
right.
So we got to the town that my dad was thinking, ready to preach, and then he says, "Go around the town and invite everybody." The people from the town, they say, "You already ate?" "No, come and eat with us." And people sometimes carry food over there in the street for us to eat. And the other thing that when we got sick, no money to go to doctor, and doctors 4 or 5 hours away.
Yeah.
And my dad says, get in on your knees and pray. So we get on our knees and ask God for healing. And that happened. So my family, they was pretty healthy. Everybody. And all my sisters and brothers and nephews and uh, nieces and all that, they are Christian.
So you began to see the goodness that is God and the
Yes.
love that is God
Yes.
versus the struggle you have to go to
Mhm.
sometimes when you follow God.
Yes. And the joy. The joy.
The joy.
House. Yeah, the joys. The house. My family, my cousin, my niece, the people that come to visit us, spend time with us. Oh, the joy.
Yeah.
Happiness.
It's love in your house.
Yes. Yes.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And my mom helps people that so poor that nothing to eat. And my mom say, come to my house. Come to my house. Come to my house. There's plenty of food for everybody. My cousins, they pretty poor. They eat once a day. That's all.
Yeah.
And we had a cows and milk the cows and have chickens and have pig. And, we have a lot of. So, but before the accident, I didn't see that
Yeah.
until they opened my eyes on the other side, and I say, well, that's a really blessing life I have. I never did drugs, never do bad things because my values and all that. And it's a wonderful life, like Psalms first. So why not work for God? Why not? I say myself, why not? Why never? You never see that.
Is there a message that you would tell people based on your experience?
Yes. I can describe this message basis on St. Mark, chapter 2. I feel like that the guy that was unable to walk, but he has friends. When they heard that Jesus was at the house, they went to this man to bring him to Jesus. When they got to the house, there was a lot of people inside and outside and the doors. They wasn't able to take him inside, but they never give up or refuse. They just went up to the roof and opened the roof, and every one of them get their side to take this man in front of Jesus. And the Bible says when Jesus saw the faith of them, he told to this man, get up. Before that, that's what they was waiting for. But Jesus told them, this guy, your sins been forgiven. And I feel that way. We have family. We have friends. And sometimes we act like a mule, like a horse, don't want to get close to God. But we have friends or family. They want us to come to Jesus. Or they bring us to Jesus. And Jesus and his mercy, his love, want to forgive us. We are sick maybe, like this man was sick and able to walk by himself. But Jesus forgave him his sins. And after that, he healed him and say, stand up, get your bed, and go home. Now he was able to care for himself. That's what my message is. Jesus is around the corner. It's everywhere. Just need to If you don't want to go, you got friends to invite you to go. You got friends to preach you the gospel. They say, hey, believe, become a believer, be saved. And I feel like when you don't want to believe in Jesus, you don't want to believe in God, you don't want to come, you are unable to live by yourself or take care by yourself. We need God in our lives. We need God to take care of us. We need God everywhere. My family, my daughter, my sons, my life, everywhere. So when we believe that, like the friends of this man, they was unable to walk, unable to care about himself. They love him so much. They want to be healed. It's around us. There's a people like that. Love God, know the power of God, know what God can do, and they want you to bring you to come to Jesus, come to be saved, come to be healed. And my message is, it's no options. When you believe in God and you become a Christian believer, you come to follow Jesus, your life changes. Your life, the spiritual, is different. Even you don't have nothing in your refrigerator, you don't have nothing to eat, God still will take care of you. He will. You are a believer. No matter how you feel, and what spot of your life you are, or your struggles, or anything, if you become a Jesus, your life will change for good.
Very few people have a story like yours, where you were in a place of, even though you were a Christian, you still kind of rebelled against what what God was probably calling you to do.
Yes.
And you had a moment where your earthly body died.
Yes.
And you discovered that life actually is spiritual when you were looking down at your own body.
Yes, because the Bible says our body is nothing. The really Benjamin Galindo, the real one, is my soul. My soul never die. Will never die. My body disappear
Yeah, and people hear that and say that sounds like a nice fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have an experience where you experienced, and not in a dream state,
no,
but where you look down at your mangled body and remember that you were above it, 10 feet.
10 feet. Willing, want to
trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Trying to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't do it.
Yes. Can't do it because my willing is no longer there.
Well, you kind of got it kind of got proven to you there, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so things had to have changed in that moment. I mean, you believed and God was good and that sort of thing, but I guess having a moment like that, it's kind of one of those things is you can't deny that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I live this kind of life, and I want to be busy. I want to.
It's the same thing that the apostles said, right? When they saw, they were scared to death after Jesus died.
Mm-hmm.
But after they saw him raised from the dead, he came in the room with them, showed him his wounds, talked to them. They were like, reality as we've ever understood it is now changed.
Yes.
I've seen something that I can't unsee or unremember, and I realize now that this is what life is about. And so for them, it didn't matter if somebody arrested them and killed them. It didn't matter. They're just going to get back with him faster.
Mm-hmm.
But what they were called to do was tell as many people about it as they possibly could. And they couldn't get out the door fast enough each day to do that because of what they saw and what they experienced.
Yes.
And when I hear your deal, I have this sort of combination thing where this is a little bit of a Jonah thing, where Jonah kind of defied him, and he said, look, okay, well, you're about to experience something crazy. And the fish and the whole deal, and he went and then did what he was supposed to do. And the apostles, after they saw the resurrected Jesus, their understanding of life and how it works, and the fact that we are spiritual beings wrapped in flesh for now, changed it.
Yes.
And it's the thing that made you get in a car and drive to Durango, Mexico for a week. Who would do that? Unless somebody who was...
I did that 3 times.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 times.
Because
every time.
Yeah. And because in your heart, you were doing the most important work in the world.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like I say in the beginning, I was working hard in the church and do like a handyman and everything. But I cannot compare before and after.
Yeah, God didn't need you to be a handyman there. He had a greater fulfillment for you than a support role.
Yes. So my message also for the Christians, because I believe a lot of Christians listen to us. Don't be like a mole, like a horse, and don't let God put you in the anvil. It's better to be on the wheel or the putter.
Because he's going to shape you regardless, right?
Yes.
Let him mold you like potter's clay.
Yes.
Instead of having to beating you into the shape you need to be on an anvil.
Because hurts and still hurts. I'm not able to run, but I can walk. I cannot run, but I can walk. And I can move myself, so it's a miracle. It's a miracle. One day I had an appointment to get a surgery on my back. Tried to put a couple discs. Doctor says, some Monday you will come to fill up all the paperwork to proceed the surgery. And then at that time I spent a few hours on church on the altar praying, asking for God to put me on these new discs. So that Monday I came to the doctor's office. I was dancing. And he said, what happened? I say, ask God for a new disc. And he did. He put the new disc on my back. Let's see. You're going to take an MRI. I did. Came back with the results. I say, I got your results. Come. We need to talk. I went to the office and he says, no surgery. Why? Say, look, this how big they are. See? Look this before and look this after. The before they was teeny, now they normal. God put you new disc on it. I say, I told you. I told you.
That is incredible.
So, I'm here.
And it keeps happening. That is incredible.
And I have those MRIs. Sometimes I carry on my bag when they invite me to preach, to show those MRIs to people. A lot of people don't believe. That's what I say once again. Don't be like a mule or like a horse. Be a clay.
Yeah. What an amazing story you have shared. Your life is extraordinary, and some amazing things have happened to bring you to where you are. And the fruit that you have borne for the kingdom of God for the last 20 plus years, and your ability to see Him moving in your life like He does, and your energy for sharing it is just extraordinary. And to hear the miracle healings.
Yes. Can I share a miracle that was the first one I
Yeah.
saw? I was like not really that I didn't believe. I knew that God brought me from the dead to do something, but I wasn't really sure what was. So I say, like Elias say, if I'm a man of God, that happened. So we had a service one day, and there was a young lady about 22, 23 years old, and she was crying at the service. And the pastor asked her if she wants to share what happened, why she was crying. At the end of the service, she came to the front, and the pastor gave her the microphone and say, "Tell us if you want to. What happened? Why you are crying so sad? So we can see the pain on you." And she said, "Yes, I want to share." 2 years ago, I got married, and we tried to have kids, and doctor says I'm not gonna have a kid because something wrong with my womb, where the babies grow.
In the womb?
Yeah, womb.
Yeah.
Something wrong with your womb, and we have to take it out of you. So the doctor took it, did a surgery, and took my womb out. But I want to be a mother. I want to be a mother, and it's impossible to be a mother because my womb is out. So I say, "Well, God, you say ask me. Just ask me." So I went in front. I prayed for her. I said, "God, let her have a baby. Please, let her have a baby." So she went back to her house, and she started feeling all the symptoms. Went back to the gynecology. They say, "It's impossible. It's impossible what I see." "What? You have a new womb." "What?" "Yes, you have a brand new." Say, "Oh, yes, you are pregnant." It's hard to believe, but that happened. The doctor told her and everything. So she came back with a young, nice, pretty daughter on her hands. And you can imagine that she came in front and say, "Look," and all those people were there, even the ones don't believe, saw her with the baby on their hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah, everybody started crying.
That's a beautiful thing.
And at that time, that's when I understood that was true, that God will use me.
And she had the hysterectomy and was upset about that.
Yes.
Came to you, and you prayed with her.
Yes.
That she would have a child.
Yes.
A new womb regrew.
Yes.
She became pregnant and had a child.
Yes. That was the first miracle I saw. And that helped me to understand that there wasn't a dream, there wasn't a vision, there wasn't something that I imagined. There was something real. The God was calling me. The God wanted me to preach, to share. And that's why He brought me from the dead.
That is a beautiful story, and all of it is an amazing story. You are filled with testimony and experience of God doing the miraculous.
Yes.
And working through you.
Yes.
That's got to be a good feeling.
I feel like I'm doing some, not all, but some, on the kingdom of God. I'm doing something. I try to.
Yeah, you're participating.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
are a branch that is bearing fruit for the kingdom.
I'm not a good preacher, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not a good preacher, but
Hey, but you know what? God doesn't call us to be excellent at everything.
yes.
He just asks us to be faithful to Him
Mhm.
and to follow Him. And that's all He asks. We don't have to be the best speaker in the world.
Yes.
We don't have to be the most athletic, or we don't have to do just incredible things. It's not what He's asking us to do. He's asking us to be obedient to Him.
Yes. That's what I understand.
And if we have the faith to do it, not knowing how we're going to get taken care of, not knowing the outcome, but just have faith that He is calling us for a reason and is going to take care of us when we go and do what He's asking us to do. The pressure's off of us. We don't have any pressure. We're just supposed to be faithful.
Yes.
God's going to do the work
Yes.
through you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it. It's Him
Yes.
through you.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to open the door on God's side so He can get in, and then open the door on the other side so He can get through, right?
Yes.
And that's what faith is. And so what a powerful story.
Yes.
That should be inspiring to people that listen to this, that think that they cannot be, that the best they can do is, I'm going to go just serve in the line on Sunday, and that's me contributing or whatever. I think God calls us to do those things at times, but often it's a bigger deal than that. And people don't do the work for the kingdom of God because they don't think they are talented enough to do it or
Yes.
good enough to do it. And that should go to somebody else who is either more versed in the Bible than me or more experienced than me or can speak better than me or whatever else it is. And that's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. What God calls us to do is to take a step out in faith
That's right.
and go and do it.
Yes. The verb number 1 on the Bible is do. Do.
Do. The number one verb in the Bible.
Yeah.
Do.
Do.
Yes.
The whole Bible.
Yeah,
Do.
it's not grow.
No. Do.
It's not think. It's do.
Do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. What a great message.
Yes.
Pastor Galindo, I have loved the time that we have spent together today, and I am thankful that I've made a new friend. And I hope we find ourselves doing kingdom work together again.
Yes.
God is calling each of us to grow in our faith and participate more fully in the work of pointing people toward Him. These callings literally fill Scripture from beginning to end. Ben Galindo served God in his own way, but it took a violent, deadly accident to change his direction and shape him for the work God was truly calling him to do. Ben's message to fellow Christians? Seek out and begin fulfilling God's calling in our lives now, before something painful has to wake us up. Be shaped on the potter's wheel rather than the blacksmith's anvil. But make no mistake, we're all being called. We just need to ask for God's direction, that He give us ears to hear Him and the heart to follow. And regarding the miracle healings, I don't know why it seems that the prayer of some people who appear to have great faith does not get answered, and some do. I do know that in Mark 11:24, Jesus Himself says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." When Pastor Galindo referred to each miracle, he never seemed to hope for an answer. Rather, he knew it would be answered. He believed, and it was given to him. It feels like there's a critical and powerful message of faith in that passage that I hope one day to more fully understand. Thank you for joining us today on A Stronger Faith. For more episodes, to suggest a guest, to connect with us, or to support this ministry, please visit strongerfaith.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook or Instagram. Until next time, we pray for peace and a stronger faith for you and those you love.